It doesn't. So that means we now have access to the JavaScript directory, or the scripts, the location of where the scripts live, um, and our style sheets are now working. So that's good. The point is, the location attribute in the web config is how we define what's accessible and not accessible. Okay, so let's log in and see if we can once we log in, if we can access the locations. Now there we are. So we're at home. Let's see if we can go to foo. Yeah, bar, profile. All right. Well, that's good. At this point now, we have a web page a website that forces a user to log in order to access other pages. Now what we want to do is have a create a web page that has the same header. I mean, we want the web pages to all have the same header, other than the login form. In other words, there should be a header page that contains a main menu that only logged in users or authenticated users can see, and then another header that can be used for anonymous users. And the way that we do that is we can go into the views directory under the shared directory, and this shared directory is an MVC naming thing, so you gotta, I didn't create that, MVC did. And here in the layout, let's first start with this. The underscore view start dot CSHTML. This is always fired when a request is made, and it tells the Razor View Engine which layout to use. The layout being like a master page, and you'll see it as we go here. And what this is programmed to do right now, the underscore view start, is to point or to use the layout in this location, view shared underscore layout, which is right here. And you can see that this one has the doc type skeleton to it, and it has this magic HTML, or this magic method called render body, and pretty much that's all it. The view bag, you can change the title, and it implements by default a style sheet and some JavaScript packs, jQuery packs. So what this is the like a master page for the entire site. What we want to have is a menu. So we're going to do a div. We don't have to do anything you want. And let's just call it, we're going to have an href. Let's see, home. A foo, a bar, and a profile, and we're going to do a logout. So foo, bar, profile, logout, foo, bar, profile, logout. And let's just wrap this render body in a div as well. Okay, so well, all we did is just add to the layout a menu of some sort. So let's build this and go to our page here, and you'll notice that we now have this menu: home, foo, bar, profile, logout. And there, we didn't build our logout thing. So let's do that now. We did not ever build a logout view, so that's why we're getting this resource cannot be found. So we'll go to our controllers, add a new controller, call it logout. And in our index method, we will have it forms forms authentication. We got to import the system web security namespace, and we're going to call the sign out method, and then we'll just return the view. So let's add a view for this page. We'll call it log out for the title. See the viewBag.title, that gets sent to, let's just pause right here. The viewBag.title allows views to define what the title is in the layout. So here we have the viewBag.title equals layout. Well, over here we have in the HTML doc, we have the at viewBag.title. That's how that gets set. And so we're going to say goodbye. Come back soon. Okay. So now we have to open up this. So, and you know what? Let's do this. The layout of this guy. Oh wait, no, we didn't get to that point yet. So just hold on. Let's hold on. Okay, so let's build this and see what happens. So we have the bar, profile. So we're logged in. Now I'm going to log out, and goodbye, come back soon. Notice how the menu's still here, because I have told, yeah, the menu's there because all pages implement, or all views will be added to this render body location within our layout schema. So what we want to do is this layout _layout.cs HTML will be our main layout page for all of our authenticated pages. In other words, pages that you can only access once you're authenticated. But I don't want that menu here if you're not authenticated, because like if you have this login menu, there's no point of having this. It's kind of stupid. So what we're going to do is we're going to first of all say if the request from the client is authenticated, then you can use that layout. Otherwise, I don't want you to use that layout. I want you to use, let's call it the anonymous anon layout. And we haven't made that yet. But the logic here is in the view start, this is a special page that gets fired every time on every request. And so when it gets fired, it's going to say, hey, are you authenticated? Oh, you are? Okay, let's use this layout then. If you're not, then let's use this layout. That's cool. But we now got to build this layout. So let's copy this one just to save us for some typing. Add a new view, and we're going to call it anon layout. We'll select all. Alright. And now we're going to get rid of our menu here. But let's put a welcome, or a please log in. Please log in. Oh no, that's going to be in the login page. Welcome. Whatever. You can put whatever you want. Alright, so then let's run this page. Okay, so notice how we have the welcome here because we're not authenticated. We are unable to go to other places that are locked down. we have client-side validation working. We're going to now log in, and now we have our menu that other people can access. I mean, the authenticated users can access. And if I log out, this is kind of tricky right here. Watch, log out. I logged out, but I still have this menu here. I don't want that. But if I click it again, or if I click from the menu again, now it finally went away. And I think it's a timing issue with when the cookie's deleted versus when this page is fired. Where'd it go? When this is fired versus when the cookie is deleted, I think it's out of sync. So for the logout page, this is a total side note. What we're going to do is just define, we're going to manually set the layout that's used inside of the, where'd it go? Inside of the logout view, we'll tell it, hey, for the layout, use this one. So it's not dynamic anymore. We're specifying it to be that one. And so now if we go to the login, and then if we click around, we're using our menu as an authenticated user. Now we click logout, we won't have a menu because we've told MVC, don't use that menu once you log out. So what we showed in this video is how to create, or the very basics of forms authentication that's specified in the web config file down by default. When you create a web MVC application, by default forms authentication is used down here. Authentication mode equals forms, and you, in the web config, you tell the web config where your login form is located at, and you can specify the timeout in minutes. Then in the web config we specified that we want all of the directories locked down to unauthenticated users or anonymous users. That's what the question mark is for. We're denying access to all anonymous users to everywhere. But we have to we opened up the content folder and the scripts folder and allowed them to be accessed by all users using the asterisk, because those two folders are where the style sheets live and where the scripts live. So there's no need to lock that down. So that's the web config file. Then we created a login form, a login view, I should say, or login controller and a login view. But let's look at the login view. The login view is a strongly typed login view, and it uses the login model that we created. The connection is the login model has two properties, a username and password, each of which are using the data annotation called required, which is part of the system.componentModel.data annotations namespace that's up here. And what this will do will tell the framework that this field is required and this field is required when it's being used inside of a view. And so going back to our view now, in our view we tell it, hey, yeah, follow that model. This view uses this model. Now import a couple jQuery packs. One's called validate and one's called validate unobtrusive. The validate will do the actual working of the validation of the data, and the unobtrusive makes it so that when you look at the view source, there's no inline JavaScript added to the HTML source. In the next line we have a @using HTML.begin form. This is